What was it like when the rain finally began and the ark door shut? For years, Noah's enormous vessel had stood on dry ground. Every beam had been measured, every room prepared, and every seam sealed. Now the season of building was over. The warning was about to become reality. God told Noah to enter the ark with his household. Noah had found favor, and his life of faithful trust stood apart in a violent generation. Yet the ark was not a monument to human achievement. It was a place of rescue provided by God. The animals came as God had said, additional pairs of clean animals and birds, and male and female of the others. They entered calmly, filling the prepared spaces with movement and sound. Noah was 600 years old when the flood came. He entered with his wife, his sons, and their wives. Food had been stored. The animals were sheltered. The family stepped away from the world they knew and trusted the warning they had received. Then came 7 final days of waiting. Those 7 days must have tested every emotion. The door was still open, the land was still dry, and the warning of rain was visible only through the finished ark around them. Faith sometimes waits quietly between obedience and the moment the reason becomes clear. The air changed, and the light faded across the land. Inside the ark, the family listened. Outside, the completed vessel stood as a warning to take God seriously. Then the door closed. Genesis says that the Lord shut Noah in. The heavy timber moved into place, the light narrowed, and the family understood that preparation had ended. The first drops struck the roof. Soon the sound became a steady roar. Rain fell for 40 days and 40 nights. The springs of the great deep burst open, and the floodgates of the heavens poured out water. What had seemed impossible was now happening all around them. Water spread across the ground and climbed against the ark's sealed hull. Valleys disappeared. Familiar paths vanished. The level rose higher and higher until the great vessel began to move. For the first time, the ark lifted from the earth. Inside, timber groaned, lamps swayed, animals shifted in their stalls. Noah and his family held firmly to the supports as the vessel rose upon the waters. They were not untouched by fear, noise, or uncertainty, but they were inside the refuge God had provided. The flood covered even the high ground. Genesis states the judgment solemnly. Life outside the ark could not survive the waters. Violence, corruption, and evil mattered deeply to God. Yet judgment was not the only message carried by the storm. The ark remained afloat. Every sealed joint, every stored basket, and every act of patient obedience now served its purpose. The same waters that covered the old world lifted the ark above destruction. Noah's family could not control the storm, but they had trusted the one who provided a way through it. Day after day, water stretched in every direction. The family lived by lamplight, cared for the animals, and waited while the ark moved across an unfamiliar world. Waiting inside the ark was not easy. Rescue did not mean instant comfort. It meant being kept through a crisis that had not yet ended. Genesis says the waters prevailed for 150 days. The rain would stop before the journey was over. Noah still had no map, no sail, and no power to force the waters down. His task was to remain faithful within the shelter God had given. The flood story asks us to hold 2 truths together. God takes human evil seriously, and God's mercy provides a path of rescue. The closed door was solemn, but inside it, a family, a future, and the creatures of the earth were being preserved. When life feels uncertain, faith does not pretend the storm is small. Faith listens, prepares, enters the refuge God provides, and continues doing the next faithful thing. The ark rose through the storm, but where would it finally rest? And how would Noah know when the waters had gone? That is where the next chapter begins.